Now, can they do it against the best defense in the Bills, best defense left? They're the second best defense in the NFL behind the Saints, statistically, according to ESPN's Football Power Index. But look what Allen did to the Pats defense, which is better than the Steelers' top 5 defense. 21 of 25, 308 yards. He had a better game than Mahomes. 12 yards per attempt, 5 touchdowns, just the perfect game plan against a really good defense. Again, that's another case of third time, better team's going to get the 2-1 nod in the season series there. And how about Devin Singletary, son of Mike Singletary, really coming on the second half of the season and just having a great young career. I think the Bills are the more talented team, as I give you a little teaser to our look ahead when you match up the Bills and the Chiefs. I mean, obviously it's Mahomes over Allen, but on both sides of the football, I think the Bills have the more talented roster, but it's very hard to beat a team twice, obviously, and it's very hard to beat a team twice at their place in Arrowhead this weekend. So this was right around the time that Stephen A. declared, the Chiefs done when the Bills strolled into Arrowhead, and Mahomes had a really bad game by his standards, right? The QBR was below that average level of 50. He threw for like only 5 yards per attempt, had a couple of interceptions. He was awful by Mahomes standards. Let's put it that way. I don't think he'll do that again in the playoffs. This is simply me just thinking that Kansas City at home, very hard to beat a team twice in that scenario. And despite the fact that I think there's more talent if Mahomes isn't throwing interceptions, that's the key to this game. And I think the winner of this game represents the AFC in the Super Bowl, whether that be the Chiefs or the Bills. I think my kind of early season pick was Bills Bucks. But I think we'll tease my picks for later. I think the slight edge might go to the Chiefs in this one in round 2 at Arrowhead, this time in the playoffs in the divisional round. Tampa Bay meets LA for the second time. Back in week 3, it was in LA, back when Matt Stafford was playing like an MVP. I get it. He had a great game against the Cardinals. That's fine. The Cardinals, again, I don't think were very good. They were good. There was just that tier. We've always said Rams, Bucks, Packers in that Bills in that upper tier, Cardinals kind of hovering in the top 10, but significantly not as talented. Again, a year away, I believe, coaching, quarterback, roster overall, and they lost Budda Baker, who's a very talented player. Hopefully he is all right. But yeah, so Brady was also playing like an MVP that game. He threw for over 400 yards in the losing effort, but he had the complete MVP season. I would argue, I think Brady deserves it over Rodgers. Rodgers missed a game. That's not political. He missed a game, right? Where his team ended up losing. That's not he's valuable to his team. Brady is not missing games, but he is missing players, and he's still going out, putting up virtually the same record as you, and he beat you last year at Lambeau. He's kind of thinking he's going to do the same thing this year. So again, the Rams are going cross country now, coming off this big win. First win for Stafford in his long career, first playoff win. Letdown factor here as you go travel to Tampa Bay, where Tom doesn't even celebrate Super Bowls anymore. It's just another check mark on his legacy. You see him after the Super Bowl win last year at their place, business as usual. He goes to his locker, gets ready to go home. I like Tampa Bay at home against the Rams. This is the trendy pick, though. A lot of people like the Rams to pull the upset this weekend. Very hard to beat a team twice, and now it's in Tampa. I think the Brady factor is going to have the Bucks victorious here and back to their second consecutive NFC Championship game. Tennessee against Cincinnati. Derrick Henry to return? ? That's the big kind of thing everyone's keeping an eye on. Obviously, that's a huge factor if he comes back. Otherwise, Tannehill can get stripped down a little bare there without a reliable force that is Derrick Henry behind him. Julio Jones. All right, Falcons fans, we're kind of watching him in the playoffs. Is he going to get a Super Bowl? Who knows? Facing the Bengals. Will the bye help Tennessee? Right? Last year was the first year that there was only one bye team as we added one team on the bye as we added the 7th team to the NFL playoffs in each conference. Kansas City and Green Bay were the 2 1 seeds last year. They both won. in the divisional round. In 2019-20, the last year we had the 1 and 2 seeds from each conference get the bye. San Fran and Green Bay were both the 1 seeds that year, 2 years ago. They both moved on as 1 seeds in this divisional round. 2 seeds got a bye as well. As aforementioned, Tennessee upset Baltimore that year. Remember that. So Tennessee's been here a couple of years now under Vrabel, Tannehill. Hopefully they get Henry back. AJ Brown. Now they add Julio. But again, we know Lamar Jackson's record in the playoffs isn't stellar. And 2 seed Kansas City went on to win the Super Bowl over the 49ers again 2 years ago. And remember last year, yes, Tampa Bay, the 5 seed, got it done as they mowed through road games all the way to the title game, which was on their home field against all odds. Rams have the opportunity to do that this year, right? Rams hoping to get to SoFi Stadium, which hosts this year's Super Bowl. Okay, here are my picks. I had the Raiders last week. That was wrong. I also had the Cowboys. That was wrong, but I cashed the teaser with the 49ers. So, that game was a toss-up for me. So, what am I going to do? NFL was chalk this past weekend. Public. I hate the public. But in terms of just picking straight up, I'm going with you guys this week. Tennessee with the bye, I think it gets it done. Is Henry coming back? That's huge. Again, I kind of like the Cardinals. I think the Bengals are just a year away. They get the playoff win. That was awesome. Who are the Raiders? The Raiders that was another team that was just a little tear down. The Raiders were a nice story, but Derek Carr, no one was really that defense. No one was really that scared of them. Burrow and Chase inject some fear. Like there's got to be some fear in Tennessee fans' homes, and that the locker room's going to shut that stuff out. But seeing Burrow come into Nashville, that dude loves the limelight. This dude excels under pressure, and an offense that's scary. That they have that factor, but I think Tennessee is going to be able to get it done. The bye is a huge factor here. And again, I think it's another letdown spot. First win in 31 years. Postseason for a city, for a franchise. Tennessee's been here, done that for a couple of years now. I think they get it done. Green Bay, move on, bye factor here. 49ers, I still don't trust Jimmy G, still don't trust Shanahan. Don't necessarily trust Matt LaFleur, right? We saw he's gotten some questionable things on his resume as well, taking Rodgers off the field, kicking a field goal last year against Tampa Bay. I think they get it done against the 49ers. Tampa, I think they roll. I just think it's going to Tampa is just a dominant team. I trust Brady over Stafford. If Stafford throws a pick six, it could get ugly. And then let's go Kansas City. Again, I think I'm rooting for my preseason pick. I would like some fresh blood in the Super Bowl. Kansas City, though, I just think they're dominant. Mahomes is the greatest thing we've ever seen. There's a reason Mahomes and Brady were on the cover of Madden after they duked it out in the Super Bowl. It could be them for years to come. It's the passing of the torch. It's the guy we've never seen do things like this before in Tom Brady to guy that's on the scene now as a youngster. It's the passing torches of legendary quarterbacks for our generation. Tom Brady, we think towards the end of his career, still getting it done. And Mahomes, even against a kind of an adversity late in season, right, where he was actually getting written off for the first time in his career early in the season, and they're still fighting all the way here. Chalk for me. Where does the public sit currently right now? Remember, public 5-1 in the wild card round. They are currently on Tennessee, Green Bay. Public likes the Rams to take out Tampa Bay, and they like Kansas City. Only 2 sharp action games so far that have been detected. Sharps are currently on Tennessee. Public and Sharps on the same side. They are in that game over the Bengals, and they are on the different side in Tampa. They like the Bucs to move on, whereas the public likes the Rams to continue their route towards hosting their Super Bowl this season. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the week. Of course, 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday, the divisional round, NFL playoffs, hopefully some better games this weekend.